睇咗，等我望先係同大家睇一睇啲 notes 啦。咁依家見到咧就係第8課嘅，OK，slide 第3張 slide 啦。咁就講緊呢一課咧，我哋有幾種唔同嘅分析嘅方法。咁喺嗰個嘅比率分析咧，我會即係有啲班係未講晒，有啲班咧就已經講晒。咁我就會講多啲呢一部分嘅。咁因為其中一條 CA2 嘅功課咧就係 racial analysis。咁咧頭先就同大家講咗，即係已經同大家講咗會有呢一個嘅分組啦。咁 B 班同 C 班就上個禮拜分咗，咁 A 班咧其實喺今日落堂之前都會同大家分埋組嘅。咁嗰個功課咧，其實柴灣就仲未正式 finalize，所以就未 upload 上去。咁但係同學唔使擔心，因為我哋嗰個交功課嘅日子比較遲嘅，即係去到成week 16啊，咁所以咧就我哋最少會有最少3至4個禮拜左右俾同學做功課，咁所以就我哋應該係趕得切 cover 晒相關嘅 syllabus。咁我睇過，我嘅印象中大概2條至3條題目嘅啫，咁就視乎每一組嘅人數啦，咁所以其實嗰個工作壓力，即係或者個分工咧，其實應該就唔係好大咁但係就其中有一條係比率分析嚟嘅，OK，咁咧就睇嚟同學啊。比率分析咧個數就唔難計嘅，咁一陣同大家做練習，即係可能今個禮拜做練習嘅時候，你都會覺得計數係唔難嘅。問題係個分析，OK？咁再同大家同學提一次啊，千祈唔好抄其他組嘅答案，你可以一齊討論，你可以用自己嘅文字寫出嚟，但係就千祈唔好抄，因為我哋學校嗰個叫 Very Guide 咧嚇，即係佢係好 powerful 嘅。你只要有幾多成嘅相似度咧，佢會彈出嚟，佢成句 highlight 嘅。咁所以咧，只要你份功課佢會話俾我聽 over 幾多個 percent 有同某邊幾份功課相似，我哋一 click 入去咧，佢就會彈另外一份同學嗰個功課嘅 sentence 就出嚟，有幾多成相似，可以即刻比拼到。咁所以同學喺呢度做功課，尤其是呢一個即係我哋呢一科啦嚇，寫文字嗰部分咧，即係計數都好啦，佢都會彈出嚟嘅嚇。但係數就即係難於 justify 啦，但係文字咧就好容易睇得到你有冇抄功課。咁所以即係我當然啦，我鼓勵同學大家做 discussion 互動嘅。咁但係你 discussion 之後寫出嚟嗰啲嘅文字句語咧，應該係唔一樣嘅。即係正如中文，我同你講同一個即情景咧，你嘅句語同我嘅句語應該係完全唔一樣，因為大家習慣唔一樣嘛。咁所以就提同學千祈唔好照抄，即係你傾完之後自己用自己文字寫翻出嚟係接受嘅。OK，so for the project, okay, group project. So one question is related to racial analysis. So for the calculation, it's simple, but you have to write down your comment. For I have to remind student that we have very guide systems which to check the plagiarism error from the assignment. So if some cheating or copying or pasting similar sentence, the system will be found, okay, and show us with the sources of the data or the documents. So please be reminded you can discuss with other groups, but don't copy their assignments or the answer directly to yours. So we have to go through the racial analysis, okay? And I will teach you how to write the comment, okay? We have certain steps or procedures to write the comments for each of the capability, okay, of a company, okay, the competence of the company, okay。好，咁咧就嚟到呢度咧，就睇翻有4種唔同分析啦嚇。咁呢度係個垂直分析。咁垂直分析一陣會做練習，你見到所有嘢都係用翻我哋睇乜嘢咧？就係睇下邊樣嘢最重要喺你公司裏邊咧，係比較重要嘅收入 或者比較多嘅開支，咁啊分母永遠都係 total revenue，OK，咁呢度曾經都講過，咁就應該計數，我諗你可以代翻啲 data 入去，OK，每一個 data 譬如 dining room over 翻不變嘅 revenue，咁每一個數都係 over 個 total revenue 紅色個框框，咁你就會計到答案。咁你知道呢種分析嘅技術係幫你咧睇邊一樣嘢係最重要嘅數字，收入又好，開支又好。Okay, for vertical analysis, okay, the main concept is to find out which is the key source of income or the main expenses for your company. So you can find applying the formulas, okay, you can find out the percentage, and by the comparison of these expenses, these percentage, you can find out which one are the most of the revenue, okay, or which is the least revenue for your company. Okay, for next is vertical, okay, sorry, horizontal. Horizontal to find out which business is the improved or deteriorated revenue or expenses for your company。好，咁下一個咧就係叫橫向或者叫中向啦嚇，咁就揾好做得好咗，做得差咗。咁所以你見到咧就係由今年減舊年嗰個計咗個 change，再 over 翻舊年嘅 data。OK， 咁你就乘翻100%，咁就計到個答案啦。OK。好，咁你另外就係一陣間都會做個 trend analysis 嘅咁樣，咁呢個我 modify 咗少少啦 weekend 嘅時候，咁或者同大家睇一睇啊。咁我哋睇 trend analysis 咧就講趨勢啊，即係睇緊預測咁樣。咁預測就係講緊個百分比，我哋可以用百分比，一陣會睇到咧可以用 index 去表示嘅。OK，咁百分比即係點樣啊？咁我哋咧就依家會見到有liquid cost 啦。咁啊點樣去計個 change 嘅 percentage，就睇到個趨勢咧咁。咁我哋條公式就係個 change。就係要揾一個變化，即係每個月嘅改變嘅數字啦，over 翻上一個月嘅 data。咁我哋睇一睇點樣揾啦。OK，咁就我哋將個 change 就係計呢個 cost change 呢個 column。OK，咁第一個咧就係即係藍色減紅色啦，即係5月減4月啦。咁你就會見到個 change 係900蚊。咁跟住係藍色嘅6月減紅色嘅5月，就記得個 change 係700。咁又係7月藍色嘅7月減紅色嘅6月，就記到個500蚊嘅 change。咁另外 August 咧嘅藍色減去7月份嘅紅色咧就係200蚊。OK，咁最後就係藍色嘅9月減8月。OK，咁就計到呢個100蚊啦。OK。好，咁跟住我哋咧就會用翻呢條公式啦。OK，就將個 change over 翻上一個月嘅 data。OK，即係900 over 翻8600啦，咁就計到10點，乘翻100%就計到10.5%。OK，咁第二個又係700蚊嘅 change over 翻對上一個月5月份嘅分母9500，乘翻100%就計7.4%。好，咁仲有就係500蚊嘅 change over 翻6月份嘅分母咧，就係10200蚊，就等於4.9%。咁仲有就係到8月份嘅 change 200蚊 over 翻7月份嘅 cost 啦，liquid cost 咧就係10700，咁就1.9%。咁最後就係100蚊 over 翻個 liquid cost 嘅8月份啦，係即係9月份嘅 change over 翻8月份嘅 data 就10900，咁你就計到0.9%。咁最主要咧就睇乜嘢咧？喺呢一度得出一個結論啊！咁咧就係個 liquid cost 咧就係一個 increasing trend，即係一個增加嘅趨勢。咁我點樣知道佢增加嘅趨勢咧？咁只要你見到全部都係正數嘅話咧，佢就係一個 increasing 嘅 trend 啦。咁所以就攞趨勢係好容易知嘅啫，你見到佢 negative 咧就係一個 decreasing 啦，咁如果依家就係一個 increasing trend。好啦，咁不過你見到個答案寫住decreasing rate 喎，就係個幅度越嚟越慢，咁就點樣知道咧？咁就係每一個月份嘅差額咧都唔一樣，譬如一路由3.1個增加幅度， 跌到最後嘅1% 嘅增加幅度。咁所以呢一個好明顯咧就係一個 decreasing 嘅 rate 啦。OK， 即係每一期中間個差額都唔一樣。OK， so for the trend analysis. So we have to find out the change over the data for the previous month time 100%. So we have liquid cost and how to find out the percentage for the trend. So first of all, we have to change to calculate the cost change. Okay, so we have to find out this column. So the May minus April, so you find the change is 900. The June minus May, you can find 700, and then July minus June, you can find those 500. So August minus July, so 200, and the last is September minus August, so this is 100. So next we're applying with the formula. So the change $900 over the data for the previous month means April. So times 100%, you can find out is 10.5%. So next is 700 change over the liquid cost of May. So times 100% is 7.4%. So next is 500 over liquid cost of June. So times 100% is 0.9%. And we're doing similar for the rest of the month. So you find you have to the change over the data of the previous month times 100%. So we have conclusion. Okay, so we have the result is we find is increasing trend. So according to the percentage change or a positive figure, so this is increasing. If alternatively this is decreasing trend, you find there's this negative percentage in your result. So next is what's the rate? Okay, so this is decreasing rate. So you just have to compare the change between each 2 months. So you can find out the change is 3.1, 2.5 until the end is 1% difference. So this is decreasing because it's not increasing in the rate of steadily rate. So you find it's 3.1 until the end of this review period is 1% difference. So this is decreasing, not steadily increasing. OK。好，咁我哋咧睇趨勢分析咗第二種嘅就係 index 指數，咁大家知道就係恆指啦，係啦。咁公式點求嘅咧？咁你要見到就係即係如果係用公式嘅話咧，就係藍色呢個嘅數據啦，係啦。咁我哋有 liquid cost 嘅 ，OK。咁 liquid cost 咧就係應該係今日係。咁我哋咧就有 liquid cost 同埋 liquid sales，即係你買啲酒精飲品咧，係啦好多時，咁就兩行嘅紅色同埋綠色嘅 column。咁點樣計個 index？就用翻藍色呢條公式啦，咁樣。咁我哋咧就先睇咗 sales 嘅 index 點計先。OK，咁啊 original data 就有 sales 同埋 cost。咁我先睇睇 sales 嘅 index 點計。咁就將同樣都係今個月嘅數字咧。除以永遠都係4月份 ，OK 做分母乘翻100，咁就計到100㗎啦。OK， 即係自己 over 自己啦，即係我28000 over 4月份嘅28000乘翻100，咁咪計到依家4月份嘅 sales index 啦。如果到5月份嘅話咧，就5月份 over 翻又係4月份嘅 beginning month 乘翻100。嗱，個分母永遠都係4月份，永遠都係28000。OK，咁就。分子就會隨住你要計嗰個月份就改變啦，咁你就會計到呢一紮數據。咁 similarly 就係喺你嗰啲 liquid cost 啦，咁啊綠色嘅就係個成本啦，咁又係8600永遠都係分母嚟嘅，第一個月一定係分母唔變㗎啦。咁第一個月嘅分子係8600，分母有8600啦，乘翻100，用翻藍色呢條公式，咁就計到100啦。咁第二個月咧就係9500 over 翻4月嘅8600。OK 就係110，咁所以咧就個 result 啦，你就發覺兩個咧嗰個都係喺一個 increasing 嘅 trend 度嘅。OK，咁不過咧就你見到咧就係 OK 呢度嗰個去到127，呢度咧就去到128。 咁好明顯咧，就係嗰個嘅 sales 咧，OK 跑得慢過個 cost，咁所以你見到咧，佢兩個都係 increasing trend，因為全部都係越嚟越大嘅個數字，但係咧個速度咧就係 cost 快過個 sales 啦，OK。好，咁你做 project 咧就會主要集中喺呢一個嘅比率分析，OK 嘅比率分析。咁比率分析裏邊咧，我哋有唔同嘅數字去比較啦，咁就有競爭對手啦、業界啊、往績啊咁樣，咁又或者係你預算案啊咁樣，你可以用唔同嘅方式去做比較。咁我有咧就係有乜嘢嘅限制喺裏邊咧，咁就有啲 limitation 啦嚇。咁仲有就係最主要計呢一個嘅比率咧，我就睇佢嘅唔同嘅能力。Okay, so we have ratio analysis, okay, which is one of the technique to do the analysis of your financial statement. So you have to compare your result um, with the formula, applying the formula with the following data. Okay, so the first one is industry average, next is competitors records, so next is your self records, and lastly is your budget data. So you have to do the comparison to indicate you doing better or better off or worse off. So we have some limitation and focus of the ratio analysis in four major areas. Okay, the first one is liquidity. The second one is profitability, and the third one is solvency, and last one is turnover. 好，咁我哋最主要呢啲嘅比率分析咧，集中係睇四種唔同範疇嘅能力。第一種咧就係流動性啦，短期有冇錢還債啦。另外一個就係 solvency 啦，就係長期有冇錢還債啦。咁仲有就係賺錢嘅能力啦，同埋周轉嘅能力。好，咁啊，for the first category is liquidity ratio analysis. So we have five formula. OK。咁我有五條嘅公式啦，係啦。咁第一條就係 current ratio，咁就係 current assets over 個 current liability，就係睇緊你究竟有幾多錢資產去還你嘅負債。如果1:1咧，就啱啱好夠還；如果你係2:1咧，即係2/1咧，咁就係你2蚊資產先還1蚊嘅負債，咁都係夠還嘅。OK，咁但係你發覺如果係1:3嘅話咧，就係1蚊資產3蚊負債，你就唔夠還啦。咁個比率咧就可以顯示出你個還債能力。咁第二個就係 quick ratio，OK，咁我扣除咗存貨剩翻落嚟咧，就可以即時變為現金嘅資產啦。例如你個 cash 已經係現金啦，另外你嘅應收帳就即刻問人收翻啦，或者係股票即放都可以。咁將呢啲可以即時好快賺到錢嘅嘢咧，然後我嚟還債咧，咁就係嗰個嘅速動比率啦。咁就最主要睇下還債能力再強啲、再快啲。咁如果速動比率咧都係1:1以上嘅咧，咁呢間公司就都叫做幾穩健啦，去還錢能力。咁喺下邊咧就係嗰啲應收帳嘅銷售比例，即係每一間公司都有啲賒數啊、credit card 嗰啲賣嘢嘅生意啊。咁你有幾多錢收唔到翻嚟，仲 hold 住喺度嘅應收帳？OK，收晒翻嚟都冇問題啊，係咪？你叻啦，問啲客可以追得翻晒所有錢。咁但係呢度就第三條就係睇下你爭幾多錢仲未收到翻嚟。OK，如果每一個月收唔到翻嚟嘅壞帳月，即係嗰個帳目越嚟越多咧，你有心理準備就可能有呢個壞帳出現。咁所以咧呢個咧 percentage 就越低越好。OK 嘛？咁所以喺第四個咧就係個應收帳啦嚇，到翻就係睇下你每年收幾多次債。而最後咧第五條咧就係收幾多，每隔幾多日收一次債，收一次即係追一次債啦。OK，咁如果你一年收兩次咁咪 OK，即係通常都唔會兩次，可能一個月一次啊，一年有10零次啊咁樣咯。OK，so we have five formula to calculate the liquidity ratio for the company. So the first one is we call current ratio, which showing do we have enough money to pay for the debts? Okay. you have sufficient current assets to support, okay, your liabilities. And the next is quick ratio, means faster, quicker. So we take out the inventory. So the remaining assets, okay, so the total numbers of remaining assets is enough to pay your liabilities. So because we have uncertainty in selling the goods, inventory, so it is hard to say when will we get the money. So that's why we better um, take out the inventory as the consideration. So we just consider those assets convert in cash quickly. Okay, so to compare the current rate liabilities. So next is account receivable. We call account receivable percentage or percentage of credit revenue. So this is the average account receivable over the credit or revenue, means how many money you not received yet, okay, compared to your credit revenue. So next is okay. So next is the account receivable turnover. It means how many times you receive for a year from your customers. And the last one is how many days you collect your money in 1 year, between each of the collection time. Okay, so how many days you spend in collections. Okay, so next is probability ratio。咁下一個就睇盈利能力啦，係啦。咁你會見到咧就寫咗啲括號俾你嘅。咁呢個就係講緊資產回報率啦。咁就睇下你幾耐用咁多資產去賺幾多錢翻嚟。咁因為未扣稅同埋未扣利息嘅，真係講緊你實力揾到幾多錢翻嚟嘅。OK，咁另外呢個就係 net assets 咧，就係交咗稅又交咗利息嘅。OK，咁就睇下你嘅資產賺到幾多錢，即係淨袋落袋嘅啦，即係將嗰啲利息啊啲債還晒俾人之後，有幾多錢袋到落袋。OK，咁仲有第8咧就係銷售利潤，就係你每賣1蚊有幾多錢係袋到落袋，剩翻你賺到嘅錢。OK，咁所以就如果你中間有好多使費嘅，咁呢度咪好細咯，嗰個數字。咁但係如果你係賺好多錢，譬如我賣一嚿嘢100蚊咁，我有99蚊都係賺嘅。OK，有1蚊係開支嚟嘅啫，咁你咪好犀利啦嚇，就有成即99% 嘅net income to revenue 啦。OK，咁仲有最後咧就係個 return on shareholders equity，咁就睇下每一個股東攞啲錢嚟投資嘅，幫佢賺到幾多錢嘅回報。OK，所以你見到叫每股東益報酬率。Okay. So the next is profitability ratio. We have four formula in this area. So the first one, return on assets, which you're doing the business and before you have tax deduction and interest payment. So you're spending, okay, so you have some total assets. Okay, how much money you earned for each of the total assets you got on hand. So this is the ratio. Okay, the higher ratio you have, the higher probability you got. Okay, means your ability to earn money is higher. Okay, so next is the net income after the deduction of tax and interest. So this is the money keep in your pocket in the future for the reserve. Okay, as the reserve. So we just want to know to compare to your assets to how much each dollar of assets to generate your net income. So next is the net income to revenue. So how much the sales revenue compared to your net income. So if you got high expenses or higher costs, you find the ratio is very low. And this is the last one is the return on shareholders' equity. So it means your shareholders invest money into your company. They very eager to know how much they earn for each of the equity, each dollar of the equity, how much they can earn. So this is the formula line, okay, return on shareholders' equity. OK，跟住落嚟就係長期還債能力啦。咁長期還債能力就講緊你嗰個嘅即係資產比例係同頭先好相似嘅，就係每1蚊究竟嘅負債你有幾多錢可以還到，有幾多錢資產可以還到。咁但係講緊係 total assets 多過1年啦，即係講緊5年、10年咁樣啦。咁另外就係嗰個總負債對起嗰個總資產。嗱，咁你望到分子分母調轉啊，其實代表緊啲咩咧？就講緊你嘅槓桿比率啊。你用1蚊嘅資產去借錢做生意，借個比例有幾高咧？咁樣咁同頭先唔同，頭先我就還債，呢個就講緊個比例有幾高。即係如果我1蚊借1蚊咁1對1啦，但係我如果1蚊借10蚊咧，咁我嗰個比率咧就會好高啦。咁呢個就睇緊槓桿借錢比例嘅。咁仲有咧就係最後呢個咧就係負債同埋權益比率嘅比例，即係你公司100蚊裏邊有100%，有幾個 percent 係嚟自你個股東嘅利潤嘅投資，有幾多錢係負債嘅投資，咁呢兩個嘅比例係點樣分佈咧？即係個比率有幾高咧？咁 half 就 OK 啦，即係等於1啦。咁但係如果你借錢多過你嘅股東咁就即係可能你要俾好多利息啊。咁就睇到你係咪一個即係有能力還錢嘅人嘅公司。OK，因為資本越高咧，咁你越有能力賺錢還錢啦嚇。但係如果你借好多債，資本好少嘅話咧，咁你還錢嘅能力就好低啦。So next is solvency for the company. The first one is the total assets to total liabilities. So you can see assets over liabilities means you have sufficient money to pay your liabilities. So next is the total liabilities to total assets. Seems it's similar things, but you have swap. Okay, the denominator and the numerator is in different position, right? But actually, this tells you the leverage of the company. So every $1 of assets, you borrow how much money from the bank. Okay, so this is have to know the leverage ratio of your company. So 12, okay, this is total liability to total equity. So which wonder the investment money, okay? So to the total liability to the total shareholders equity, we have to know the percentage, okay, the portion of the shareholders equity to your total liability to your whole fundings. So if the higher equity you have more ability to return the money to your borrower, okay, the lender. So that's why if the ratio is higher, it means you got good solvency abilities. So the last one is turnover ratio。OK，咁最後一組咧就叫周轉比率啦，就講緊你係咪轉得好快、好有效率嘅一啲嘢。咁第一個咧就係 inventory turnover。我哋成日講貨如輪轉啦，咁一年轉幾多次貨咧？就係買貨到你賣出街呢一批貨完全清晒，究竟佔嘅時間係幾長咧？咁一年有幾多次轉到咧？咁一年365次定一年得1次？咁呢個就係講緊個貨如輪轉個 concept 啦。咁另外就係資金上邊啦。咁資金係咪都係可以好快咁周轉到咧？還是得咗喺度唔夠錢使咁樣啦？嚇，咁就呢個係周轉比率。第三就係 fixed asset turnover，就係固定資產嘅周轉比率，就係睇下你啲資產咧，利用依家有嘅資產去做到幾多錢嘅生意嘅比例高唔高 ？OK，咁呢個就係嗰個周轉比率啦。Okay, so for the turnover ratio, we got the first one is inventory turnover, so showing how many times the turnover rate of your goods in the warehouse. So how long does it take to for the from the purchase until you sell your goods to the customers. So how long it takes, how many times once a year or in a year, okay? So next is the working capital turnover. So you have to not only the inventory, but also consider is the money. Okay. So for the money to operate the company, so when you receive the money, until you have to pay to your supplier or for your spending. So how many times a year? So using your money to pay your payments. So next is the fixed assets turnover. So it means um, how much money generated by each dollar of the fixed assets. Okay, how much sales revenue generated by each dollar of the fixed assets. So this is the fixed assets turnover rate. So here got the examples for your reference. Okay, so it got some um, calculations. So it just for your reference only. Okay, so I will do the exercise with you together. Okay, so please take out your worksheets. 好，咁我哋咧就依家會同嗰個後邊嗰啲咧就係一個例子，咁你可以自己睇啦。咁我就同大家睇一睇第八課啊，第八課有咩練習啦。所以係第八課啊，唔好意思，第八課。OK，好，咁我就開好相關嘅。OK，好，咁我 share 翻嗰個畫面俾大家。Okay, so this is the week 8 financial statement analysis. So altogether we got 4 questions.咁我有4條題目咧呢一課。Okay, for the first one is analysis of business performance for the food and beverage revenue. Sorry, food and beverage departments of HCM Hotel in September 2021. 好，咁我以下咧有一啲係一間酒店嘅資料啦，就係2021年嘅9月份。OK，咁啊就一紮數字。OK, so you have to calculate the vertical and the sales vertical analysis. So we go back to the PowerPoint. For the vertical analysis, which is in your slide. Okay, slide 4. Okay, slide 4. So the data over the total revenue times 100%. OK， 好，咁咧就係個所有嘅你要做嗰個數字啦，乘翻100%，係啦。咁所以咧就我將呢一個嘅 formula 將佢抄出嚟先。 OK， 好 ，Question 1咧，咁我將啲題目抄出嚟。OK，by using the vertical analysis，好，咁我哋咧就將個 data 就 over 翻個 total revenue。OK，好，咁啊 total revenue 咧就應該係呢家呢一個 total revenue。OK，so this is the denominator. OK，denominator. So we have to find out the numerator. OK，咁啊個分子咧就係每一個月作為佢嘅答案，即係作為嘅分子啦，乘翻over 翻除翻就黃色呢個 total。咁所以咧你就會見到藍色 over 紅色。OK， 即係紅色框框啦。乘翻100%，咁所以呢個就係5.3% 啦。好，咁我又做多一次咧，又係藍色 over 翻加黃色個格仔，紅色個框框啦嚇。咁乘翻100%啦。好，咁仲有一隻係 cocktail lunch 啦，咁一樣啦，就係將你嗰個藍色 over 翻黃色嗰個格仔啦，係啦，咁就乘翻100%啦，咁就2.6。好，做咩就係coffee shop 啦，OK，咁就係將佢個數字啦，53,400蚊 over 翻個 total revenue 21,230蚊 OK。So for the calculation of the percentage by using the vertical analysis, so you have to find the figures of the revenue over the total revenue. So which is unchanged. 212,300. So next is times 100%. OK。咁啊，你見到佢寫左邊嘅 column 咧，我哋就寫翻左邊嘅 column。如果係右邊嘅 column，寫翻右；如果係右邊嘅 data，就喺右邊嘅 column，我哋就寫翻右邊嗰個 column 啦。係啦，即係左邊嘅就寫翻左邊嘅 column，右邊嘅寫翻右邊嘅 column。Okay, so you have to place the answer according to the position of the figures. So if it is on the left, you just write the answer on the left side. If this is on the right side, so you have to write the answer on the right side, but present it in percentage. 好，咁啊到呢度咧就係21,230蚊 over 翻自己啦嚇，咁所以就100%。OK， 咁呢個 course 又係嘅，將藍色 over 翻紅色啦，咁結果就31點幾啦。OK， 好，咁我如是者就計晒啦。好，咁咧計完之後，呢度冇叫寫 comment 啦嚇，即係你見到個趨勢就邊樣嘢最重要㗎啦嚇。咁 indicate the most important business in your company. Okay, the first one is the dining room. Next is the banquet. Okay, this is the first two main income or revenue for the hotel. So next is the operating expenses. You can find the most expensive item. Okay, is salary and wages 35.7. Okay, so you have to look into what have been happening in the salary and wages policy, and will you recommend they change some of the existing policy? Okay, so in order to save up some money, for example, at least you have worked for maybe 5 hours, so I will employ a part-time staff. If less than that, I will find my full-time staff to go into work for the banquet or work for the projects. Okay, so you just find out some way to sort it out. OK， 好，咁我哋就最主要就睇下邊個最重要同埋邊個最少嘅收入或者開支啦。OK，question 2。 So question 2 is by use business performance. Okay, analyze the business performance. So you have to write the comments actually because you have to do the analysis, not just for calculations. Okay, so for the food and beverage of XDM Hotel in September, October. Okay, so 2 months data already provide. 咁啊呢度咧就俾咗2個月嘅資料大家啦，咁最主要咧就係我哋係2個月啦，咁就唔需要即係一早計，即係嗰個最少2個月以上嘅 data。OK，咁就希望可以用到一個 horizontal 打橫嘅分析。OK，go back to that slide. What's the purpose for preparing the horizontal analysis doing this part? It is going to see the improvement and the deterioration of the company。我最主要睇下邊啲係衰退啦嚇，咁即係邊啲係好生意就繼續留住啦，但係有啲係越嚟越差嘅，咁你就要諗下點樣處理啦。咁呢度就睇個打橫嗰個分析嘅趨勢。咁我將啲數字抄咗過嚟個 answer 度啦嚇。咁你根據嗰個 lecture notes 咧嗰幅嘅嗰幅圖啦嚇。咁有條公式嘅，咁我將個公式抄咗過嚟先。Okay, 先計個 change 再計個 data of the previous year. So first of all, we have to calculate the change before we start applying the formula. So the first one is okay, October minus September. So you can find out the change. Okay, so for the left columns with a summary, you have to write on left. Okay, so 如果你嗰2個數字係喺左邊嗰行，咁呢個分析嗰行就照寫喺左邊嘅 column 啦。咁睇翻條公式就係先計翻個 change 先至計到個答案。咁所以咧，你會見到咧，我哋就將10月減9月份嘅數字啦。咁好快就寫晒出嚟啦。好，咁咧另外咧就會喺右手邊就用翻右手邊嗰啲即係嗰個 column 啦，啲數字喺右邊，我就寫翻右邊嘅 column。咁藍色減紅色啦，係啦，咁就記到啦，係啦，跟住就係左邊 OK，咁又藍色減紅色啦，係啦，咁就睇到個 change 啦。好，咁跟住咧，我哋就計 percentage 啦。咁計咗個 change 之後就計 percentage 啦。咁就將個 change over 翻上一個月嘅 data。咁即係咧，我哋咧會將個 change over 翻9月份嘅 data。OK，乘翻100%。我將呢個轉做藍色啦嚇，等你容易啲睇。咁change 就 over 翻舊嗰個 data 啦，然後乘翻100%啦。好，咁跟住咧就係個數字啦，over 翻 September 啦，乘翻100%啦。同樣咧就將個 change over 翻9月份嘅 data 乘翻100%，右邊寫翻右邊嘅個 column，左邊就寫翻喺左邊嘅 column 就得㗎啦。OK，左邊嘅數字喺左邊，你就寫翻個 percentage 喺左邊嘅 column。好，咁你見到咧得出嚟咧就全部都差啦，係咪啊？即係我哋講嘅衰退啦，冇進步到啦。咁唯一一個進步咧就係 banquet 啦。OK，咁你記住咧嗰個功用咧，即係嗰個嘅 function 咧。OK，sorry。OK，好，咁大家睇到咧嗰個 function 咧就係愛嚟。OK，the purpose of prepare the horizontal analysis is to find out to identify the improvement and deterioration. Okay, so that's why you find this is improved. Banquet is positive 6.5 among all the rest revenue. Okay, so altogether we got 5 revenue. Okay, 5 source of income. So the only one positive is banquet. Okay, the most deteriorations items should be cocktail lunch. Okay, decreased 25.5%。跌得最勁就係 cocktail lunch 啊，做得最好有進步嘅就係 banquet。咁開支就全線都跌啦嚇。咁跌得最多就係集項啦，跌得最少咧就係呢個 supply 啦。OK，咁你就用呢一個嘅分析去，就係睇下係邊個嘅item 係跌，即係有進步或者有退步啦。OK，好 ，Question 3。Okay, question 3 is the calculation for the food and sales and accounts receivable for the Gather restaurants. Okay, so we want to do the trend analysis. Okay, in this question, the first one is the percentage trend. Part B is the index trend. For different item, okay, for part A is the food cost, and for part B is food sales and accounts receivable. Okay, and C, you have to write a comment on the trend. Okay, question 3, you find 好，咁我哋咧就係要寫個趨勢分析啦。第一就係 part A 咧就叫你計百分數嘅趨勢分析，part B 就叫做指數嘅趨勢分析。咁大家都做唔同嘅 item，你都有3個 heading。OK， 有 food cost、有 food sales 同 account receivable 應收帳。咁所以就喺呢一度有齊3個 column，你就可以根據呢一啲 data 咧，就先做咗 part A 同 part B 先。OK，first we come to the answer of part A. We calculate the percentage. So according to the slide, the PowerPoint. So I have to show好，趨勢分析咧，咁喺你嗰個 PowerPoint 度應該就清楚過我嗰個啦。OK，因為我度 animation 啦，咁我開翻呢一個，咁呢個就係你嘅 notes 有嘅資料嚟嘅。OK，from your Moodles you can find the PowerPoint without any animation, so it's more clear. Okay, so you have to find the index trend. The formulas here. Okay, for the current month over the first month. 你嗰第一個月咧，你永遠第一個月都係做份模，OK，咁啊分子咧就係每個月嘅 data，咁你先就睇下個 change 啦嚇。譬如呢家呢個就係5月 over 4月乘翻100，唔係100%乘100啫。OK，好，跟住咧就係percentage sorry 呢個係 index，percentage 係呢個 percentage change 應該 should be the slide 6，sorry。I make my mistake. Okay, so the change over the data for the previous month. Okay, so the change for over the previous month. Okay, next is the cost change. Do the subtraction. Okay，咁就係6月減5月啦，跟住咧就係7月減6月啦，8月減7月，同埋最後9月。OK，減8月。咁個 percentage change 咧就係 攞翻個 change 個 percentage over，攞翻個 change 個數字 over 翻上個月嘅 sales，OK，乘翻100%，根據藍色呢一部分。咁所以你叫17.1% 啦。同樣都係將個 change over 翻上一個月藍色 over 紅色嘅 data，乘翻100%。咁另外咧就係藍色嘅4500啦 ，over 翻紅色嘅6月份啦，上一個月嘅 ，OK，乘翻100%。再咧就係1800 over 翻83400蚊，OK，乘翻100%。好，到最後0.7。好，咁啊可以睇到咧就係即係嗰個趨勢係多定少啦，係咪？咁咧就會增加 increasing trend 啦，但係個 rate 都係越嚟越跌得少嘅，即係增加得越嚟越少啊，應該話。Okay, so this is increasing trend because all the figures in positive are positive, but the rate is slowing down. Okay, so this is trend analysis. Trend analysis, okay, the formula is highlight in blue, current month over the first month data times 100。咁喺呢度咧就叫你做 foot sales 同埋應收帳，呢個就做成本，呢個就做銷售同埋應收帳。咁我哋睇一睇啦，咁我哋咧就會呢度就100啦，因為咧就個 sales 咧，就 over 翻個 foot sales。咁啊 sales index 就係個 foot sales。永遠都 over 翻4月份嘅 data。咁呢個咧就係藍色 over 紅色啦，乘翻100。咁呢個咧就係藍色 over 紅色啦，乘翻100。咁啊藍色 over 紅色乘翻100。咁就如是至將個 sales 做好啦。好，跟住做到應收帳。咁應收帳咧就係黑色呢一行啦嚇。咁你見到咧就係將呢個4月份咧就 over 翻4月份嘅 data，OK，咁跟住咧就係5月份 over 翻4月份嘅 data，咁咧就係6月份 over 4月份嘅 data。你記住咧，分子就永遠都唔變嘅，OK，咁就係計到呢個數啦，OK，咁就係自己個月 over 翻最初嘅 April。好，咁至於個 comment 咧就係點咧？咁望一望先，條題目講咩咧？咁條目就叫你 on trend of account receivable compared to the food sales。咁呢一個咧就講緊 part B 嘅答案啦。OK，想你比較一下 part B 嘅答案。咁所以咧就你見兩個都係增加緊嘅趨勢，但係好明顯就係個銷售咧就去到132，應收帳咧就係去到161。咁啊，即係話咧，應收帳咧增長個幅度咧就快過個銷售數字，咁所以咧就係你越嚟越多帳收唔到錢翻嚟啦，得出個結果。OK，咁所以你 that's why 咧你要個 answer 嘅。OK，咁就話咧，其實第一啦，你要寫就係兩個都係 increasing trend 定係 decreasing trend 啊。OK，咁你就要寫低呢個 increasing 定係 decreasing 咧，佢哋嘅 trend。好啦，第二就係比較下邊個快啲，邊個慢啲啦。OK，咁意思係啲乜嘢咧？咁你就要寫低個意思咯喎。Which is what does it mean？ OK，就係話俾你聽，呢個意思就係越嚟越多數收唔到翻嚟咯。咁所以你嘅 comment 咧，what the comment？More collection effort 啦，俾多啲力去追啦，唔該咁樣。OK。So you have to compare the sales revenue and the AR. That's both are increasing trend, but you find the AR from 100 jump to 161, but sales is only 100 jump to 132. So you find AR increasing faster. So you have to write what does it mean? It means you have to collect money slower. Okay, and even though you have increasing in sales, but you find you many money cannot be collected on time. So lastly, you have to give the recommendation. What should the company do? So they have to do more collection effort, put more collection in effort, put more effort in collection. Okay. So the question for us to be in the tutorial, we'll do it together. OK， 好，咁啊，今日咧就嚟到呢度。好 A 班嘅同學咧就唔好走住，因為咧就同你。唔緊要啦，我喺星期四先再同你分啦嚇，今日就嚟到呢度先啦，OK？ 咁我哋今日就到呢度就完啦。OK，咁我哋咧就星期四再見，星期五再見啦。